Hi everyone, Dr. Piontek here. I just wanted to share with you a brief announcement over the second half of Module 1. So I'm starting in the Start Here tab, and if we scroll down to the calendar, you will see that the readings for this module is to read chapters 1 through 4 of the APA manual, chapter 1 of the Terry text, and chapter 6 of the Hebe text. There is a forum to participate in, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. And then, of course, the statistics quiz that's worth 10 points. And you are able to use your Hebe text for reference while you're taking the quiz. I have no problems with you looking at your notes, your book, or anything like that when you're taking quizzes for this course. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, let's talk a little bit about the presentations that all of you will be doing at the individual level as well as the group level. So for example, Carrie, you are doing chapter 2 for module 2. So when you have created your presentation, whether it be a PowerPoint with voiceover or a Prezi with voiceover, or perhaps you want to do a Powtoons or an avatar, however you would like to present the material of the chapter 2 of the Terry text, what you'll do then is simply upload that into YouTube. And it takes about, for a 15-minute video, for example, it can take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to upload that into YouTube, depending upon the speed of your internet service. So once you have that uploaded into YouTube, of course, I would like for you to title it. So for example, Carrie, you would title yours as Module 2, Terry Chapter 2, okay? And once you have that uploaded into YouTube, what you're going to do is in this assignment tab, you'll click on that and you'll just submit, you'll copy and paste the link to YouTube. So then you're going to copy the link of the YouTube video that you just created and you're going to paste it into this assignment tab along with how you named it. Okay, so that way then I can go into YouTube, I can view the video, and then I can easily identify, so when I go into embedding your video into this course, I go up to our mashups, which I'm not sure if you all are familiar with Blackboard, but we have this really neat thing called mashups, and it will go directly into YouTube. I just have to type in the title of your video. It will automatically bring your video to forefront, and then I can upload that quickly into our course. So YouTube is a great avenue to do this, and just keep it public just so there aren't any issues. And then once you see it into the course, you can go back in and change the settings so that only the people in your course can see the video. If you want to keep it public, that's fine. I have a lot of videos that I finally just gave up on, and they're all public now that I make from here on out. So you just kind of you stop caring after a while who watches your videos. And then the same thing will go for the assignment when you are constructing the video as a pair or as a group. You will just do what module you're covering, the chapter that you're covering, and then upload that into YouTube and just copy and paste the link into this assignment tab, and then I'll retrieve it from there. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the forum. There is no rubric that I use to grade the forum, and I do that intentionally. The reason being is because, as I like the saying, what you put into it, you get out of it. So if you're putting the time and the effort into the discussion board, you're going to get a lot more out of it. So I encourage you, obviously there are some set things that I'm going to be looking for. For example, you might wonder, well, how many references or do I need to have for my forum each module? And the answer to that is, as you will see with the next module that will open up, you may not have to provide a scholarly peer-reviewed reference for every module, for every initial post. You can if you want to, but it's not required for certain ones. So for Module 1, you are required to submit your initial post with a scholarly peer-reviewed reference that supports your post. In Module 2, it may not be the same. You may not have to use a scholarly peer-reviewed article to support your post. So just as the modules open up, you'll learn when you need to use an article and when you do not need to. So that's the first part of it. Now, in ones that you do need to use a scholarly peer-reviewed article, I will be looking for APA format, and of course with every post, a correct spelling, grammar, punctuation, that sort of thing. So that does take the subjectivity out of that portion of how I grade discussion board posts. Secondly, make those timelines. So your initial post is always going to be due at the end of the first week of every module. Your response posts are always going to be due at the end of the second week of each module. So make sure you're hitting the timelines, or excuse me, the deadlines. And as far as how many response posts, at the graduate level, we expect students to submit at least 3, maybe 4 response posts to their peers. The length of your response post should be substantial, which means that a substantial response post should be at least a paragraph. So 5 or 6 sentences, well-developed sentences. And also make sure that your response posts carry the discussion further. So simple, like I agree statements without any kind of developed thought process probably isn't going to work. So it needs to add, it needs to contribute to the discussion, could even take the discussion on another path. And that's fine too. I don't mind really exploring a lot of different topics within the discussion board question. It's completely fine to go off on tangents a little bit, as long as we're not going too far off track. But if it's relatable, then it's applicable. So then the initial post needs to be substantial as well. So a substantial initial post is usually about 250 to 300 words. So make sure that you are hitting that point for your initial post. Just a few sentences, or a couple of sentences really isn't going to give you a solid initial post. So I'd like for your initial post to really embrace the content of the discussion board. Make sure that you're hitting all of the questions within the discussion board, that you are showing a deep level of thought with your initial and response posts, and you should be good to go then. So if you have questions about that, please don't hesitate to contact me. But I feel like a rubric, in some instances may not be applicable. For example, if I had a rubric and, I had on there that you needed to include one scholar or at least one scholarly peer-reviewed article, but yet in the discussion board I said you didn't need to, it kind of gets a little, how do you grade that then? So I would have to have different discussion board rubrics, I guess, depending upon each week. But I figured all of you are advanced learners now. You are scholars already, so you should be able to handle the discussion board without a rubric. But again, if you have questions, or if you're not really sure if it's a substantial post or not, you can always send it to me in an email and I can review it before you post it. So, but discussion boards, really, the purpose of it is sort of like it replaces the brick and mortar classroom time. So think of it as your participation in the group discussion, and obviously a small class like this, I would expect that there be some really good detailed discussions that would be occurring in the classroom. So think of it that way, and I don't foresee there to be any issues with having the substantial post. All of you are familiar with this from epidemiology, so just kind of carry what you've been doing in EPI over into this course, and then from this course into your other courses too. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. And I have another conference that I have to go to this week, so unfortunately I have to move office hours from Wednesday to Friday again. And then after that, I'm hoping to keep my legs grounded. I'm 2 conferences in 2 weeks is really difficult for me to keep up. So, but I just wanted to let you know that office hours will need to be moved for this Friday as well. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to call me or email me, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, and have a great week.